In April 1974, a brush fire swept across a massive, 88-acre plot of land owned by the BETZ family on Fort George Island, Florida. As Antoine and Jerry BETZ, along with their 21-year-old son Terry, walked through the charred remains of their property assessing the damage, they found something deeply unusual. Sitting perfectly intact in the blackened ash was a highly polished, perfectly seamless metallic sphere. It was about the size of a bowling ball, weighing exactly 21.34 pounds. There were no burn marks on it. There was no crater indicating it had fallen from the sky. It was just sitting there, gleaming in the sun. Terry BETZ, intrigued, picked it up and took it home, thinking it was an old cannonball or a discarded piece of NASA equipment. He placed it on a window seat in his bedroom, and for 2 weeks, it sat there, completely inert. Then, Terry was playing his acoustic guitar in his room. As he strummed the strings, the sphere reacted. It began to emit a deep, pulsating, throbbing sound that resonated with the frequency of the guitar. The family's dog ran into the room, whimpered, covered its ears, and hid under the bed. That was just the beginning. The BETZ family quickly realized that the sphere possessed seemingly impossible properties. When pushed across the smooth, unslanted hardwood floor, it wouldn't just roll and stop. It would stop, pause, and then roll backward, returning to the person who pushed it. It could navigate around obstacles. It would roll to the edge of a table, pause for a moment as if analyzing the drop, and then turn around to avoid falling. Most bizarrely, the sphere seemed deeply affected by sunlight. On bright, sunny days, it was highly active, rolling around the house aggressively. On cloudy days, it was sluggish and inert. It was as if the metal ball was charging itself like a solar battery. Word of the mystery sphere reached the local newspapers, and the BETZ home was suddenly swarmed by reporters, scientists, and the military. The U.S. Navy officially requested to examine the object. The BETZ family reluctantly agreed, on the strict condition that it be returned to them. The Navy took the sphere to their metallurgical lab at the Mayport Naval Station. Their X-ray analysis revealed terrifying anomalies. The sphere was not solid. It had a highly complex internal structure. Inside the thick outer shell, there were 3 smaller, spherical shapes, suspended and connected by what appeared to be heavy internal poles or wires. The shell itself was made of an incredibly pure, highly magnetic stainless steel alloy Type 431 that was extremely difficult to manufacture flawlessly. But the Navy hit a wall. They concluded it was not an explosive device, and they couldn't identify its origin. They officially stated it was likely a massive ball valve from an industrial pipe. But the Navy's explanation completely ignored the sphere's bizarre, autonomous movements. A solid steel ball valve doesn't roll itself around a room and avoid falling off tables. Carl Williston, of the Omega-1 Institute, independently examined the sphere. He discovered that it transmitted a low-frequency radio signal and that it possessed multiple magnetic poles, an incredibly rare phenomenon in a perfectly round object. He publicly stated his belief that the sphere was an extraterrestrial probe. The story exploded globally. Was it a crashed alien drone? A piece of advanced Soviet spy technology? Or the most elaborate, perfectly executed hoax of the 1970s? A man later came forward claiming he lost a large industrial ball bearing off his truck near the BETZ property years earlier. But a ball bearing does not have a complex internal structure of smaller spheres. And a ball bearing does not react to guitar music. Facing intense media harassment and alleged threats from shadowy individuals wanting to buy the sphere, the BETZ family simply vanished from the public eye. They took the sphere, went completely silent, and never spoke of it again. To this day, the current location of the BETZ mystery sphere is entirely unknown. Is it sitting on a dusty shelf in a government blacksite vault? Or is it hidden in a basement somewhere, quietly throbbing in the dark, waiting for the sunlight to wake it up? Subscribe to Echoes in the Dark, new mysteries unsealed every week.